Breaking news tonight as we remember former First Lady Rosalynn Carter. She passed away this afternoon shortly after 2 o'clock. According to the Carter Center, she entered hospice care on Friday after a months-long battle with dementia. She was 96 years old. Our Paula Suro is joining us now live at the Carter Center as the heartbreaking news is spreading across the country. Paula, what are the atmosphere and the reactions like right now as people are learning this news?
Yeah, Jennifer, you know, it feels like a very somber Sunday. It feels very heavy out here at the Carter Center. There's a number of news crews out here, as well as a few people that we've seen come out here and pay their respects. And you know, just yesterday, I was at the Carter's hometown, Plains, Georgia, shortly after news broke that the former First Lady was entering in-home hospice care next to her husband of 77 years, of course, former President Jimmy Carter. And they all spoke to me about how much they loved her, how much they knew her. It was truly beautiful. They wished Rosalynn peace, comfort, and an easy passing. They also wanted her to know that she left a legacy not only in Plains and in Georgia, but all around the world. The former First Lady worked as a champion for mental health research and helped pass significant legislation during the Carter administration. Well, she, as you may know, was a butterfly conservationist. She was an author. But guys, she was also a great friend to Nell Ariel. Nell met the Carters at church in the 1980s and last saw them 2 months ago. Nell went on several trips with the couple, helping build homes through Habitat for Humanity. Well, the Carters helped build or repair nearly 4,500 homes since 1984.
She and I shared a room, bunk beds, just is so caring about everybody else. This was a gift from Rosalynn to me, because I had commented how pretty hers was, so she got one for me for Christmas of 2011.
Now, the Carter Center released a statement from former President Jimmy Carter saying, quote, "She gave me wise guidance and encouragement when I needed it. As long as Rosalynn was in the world, I always knew somebody loved and supported me." Very sweet there. And those I spoke with in Plains yesterday said life has really not been the same since former President Carter went into hospice care earlier this year. You know, they used to tell me that they would see them walking around Main Street daily, every single day. Of course, that has since changed. But now they tell me, hey, the focus is on really maintaining this legacy, the important work that Rosalynn did all over the world. For now, we're live at the Carter Center. I'm Paula Suro, 11Alive News.
Paula, some very special reflections there tonight. Former First Lady Eleanor Rosalynn Smith Carter wore many hats, of course: wife, mother, partner, and advocate. She dedicated much of her life to improving the lives of those around her in her home state of Georgia and beyond. Along with her husband, Mrs. Carter traveled the world, shedding light on issues like human rights, caregiving, and childhood health. 11Alive's John Sherrick has more on her remarkable legacy.
Her life, the American dream come true.
Well, Jim and I have had great opportunities.
Her heart full of gratitude all her life.
The American people have given us unlimited chances, unlimited opportunities, and make it possible for us to do things that we never would ever have been able to do.
And what Rosalynn Carter did with her life and with her life partner and husband was change lives.
So help me God. So help me God.
49 years old when she entered the national stage in 1976, when Jimmy Carter was elected president, Rosalynn Carter knew going in that as First Lady she would be not only the soft-spoken supporter of her husband.
There's no way that we would be here tonight with Jimmy president without your help. We love and care for every single one of you.
Rosalynn Carter would also redefine the role of First Lady, advancing her relentless drive to pursue an independent agenda, her causes.
Es un gran placer para mí estar aquí.
Jimmy would declare that Rosalynn was the only politician in the family, and he meant it. Her unmatched ferocity to win, cloaked in her gracious southern charms, earning her the nickname, the Steel Magnolia.
For too long, these people have not received the care they need.
And she went to war for her signature cause, begun years earlier as Georgia's First Lady.
We do have some specific recommendations.
The fight to revolutionize mental health care and healing.
Realize that it's just an illness like any other illness.
Rosalynn Carter's American dream began on August 18, 1927. Born Eleanor Rosalynn Smith in Plains, 130 miles south of Atlanta. When Rosalynn was 13, her father died, and she had to take charge of the family so her mother could get a job outside the home. Rosalynn managed all of that and still graduated from high school and college. And a month before her 19th birthday, she and Jimmy married. They had 3 sons, and 15 years after number 3, they had a daughter. And all those years and beyond, Rosalynn was a full partner with Jimmy in business and in local and state and then national politics. And after the White House, she and Jimmy co-founded the Carter Center in Atlanta, focusing on helping the weakest, the poorest, the sickest,
We know that mental illness is a disease as any other.
and helping achieve a monumental shift in health insurance. So now it covers mental illnesses just as it does physical illnesses.
And almost everyone suffering from mental illness can be helped.
This is a woman who began a joyous love affair with fly fishing relatively late in life, who enjoyed a glass of wine and laughter with her friends and expanding family, a night owl to Jimmy the early bird, working full-time into her 90s. The girl from Plains who grew up making opportunities for others around the world.
My dream for the future would be peace in the world and freedom from sickness. The best thing we could do is work toward that goal.
Rosalynn Carter, the American dream come true.
We want to welcome in now longtime 11Alive anchor Jeff Hellinger, who joins us tonight as we remember the former First Lady. Jeff, really a remarkable story and truly a different type of First Lady.
You know, so amazing. I think it really has given pause for reflection for a lot of people that have followed the careers of the Carters, this amazing odyssey, this saga that began as a couple on July 7th, 1946. They've been married 77 years. And really get a sense of what the Carters have accomplished, not only in our state, but also in the country and the world. I think you need to make that drive to Plains. It will give you a great sense of how this journey has gone and how amazing it is that these two products of the Depression era were able to have such an impact wherever they went for decades, where they never lost their relevance to the country and to the world. And in fact, it only grew. And you know, you look at Rosalynn Carter and you think about the poverty of that part of Georgia and how difficult it was just to be able to get out, to get to Atlanta or to get to a big city and to have success. But what they accomplished is stunning, and I think it's something that we're all thinking about tonight and certainly reflecting on as well.
And grateful for as well, especially here in the state of Georgia. Well, we want to get to so many of the tributes that are pouring in tonight after Mrs. Carter's death. Just 2 hours ago, Governor Brian Kemp releasing a statement following the news of her passing. He says in part that she had an indelible impact on our state and nation, adding her achievements will stand the test of time and continue to be celebrated by those who knew her best. President Carter and his family are in our prayers as the world reflects on First Lady Carter's storied life.
Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens also issued a statement, and he sang in part, quote, "She was an activist, an author, and a humanitarian. She traveled internationally as her husband's envoy. The city of Atlanta joins all of Georgia and mourners all around the world," end quote.
Now, many knew Rosalynn Carter as the former First Lady of the White House and, of course, the wife of former President Jimmy Carter.
But now her lasting legacy is being a champion for mental health research. And Cheryl Preheim has more on how that all came to be and where it may be going in the future.
Driving onto the campus of Georgia Southwestern State University, the scene is calm, peaceful. Buildings, beautiful landscapes, all meet your eye. Many may be surprised to know that it's home to a special institute that has helped people around the world. The mission? To serve and support both professional and family caregivers. And it's all because of Rosalynn Carter.
The Rosalynn Carter Institute for Caregiving just received approval for a $500,000 grant from the Administration for Community Living to teach and provide new resources for caregivers caring for someone with dementia all across the United States.
Whether it's type 2 diabetes, whether it's insulin.
Here students attend class and groups hold seminars.
And I relate that to the #1 comment on family surveys ever.
It all takes place at the Rosalynn Carter Health and Human Sciences Complex and the Rosalynn Carter Institute. The former executive director of RCI shares how this has become an education, research, and service unit of the university.
Rosalynn Carter was a visionary. She was a pioneer in caregiving. She thought about caregiving before anyone else ever thought about the need for caregivers.
We've done a lot with those caring for loved ones with Alzheimer's. And we also work with the professionals that care.
So without her leadership and without her vision and without her influence, the world and our nation today would not be recognizing caregivers the way we do.
And the support and admiration of what she did not only came from her colleagues, but also from her dear friends.
I think that she has made people more aware of that. And I feel like that is a big thing for the nation.
Pope explains why Carter really knew the meaning of caregiving. She helped care for her family, including her terminally ill father, while she was still young. It can help anyone understand how her commitment turned into a passion.
Devoted to whatever she wants to do, and devoted to her family, devoted to her husband, devoted to the mental health program. She is a lovely friend. She would go the extra mile for you if she could, if she felt that you needed it.
We're hearing a lot of special memories tonight. And as people continue to reflect on the life and legacy of Mrs. Carter, we are going to bring in someone now who knew and worked with her and the former president on both the state and national stages.
Ambassador Andrew Young now joining us by phone. Ambassador, it's great to have you with us, and thanks for being with us. We want to express our condolences to you and your long relationship with the Carters and Mrs. Carter. And you know, as I was sitting here watching some of these stories that we have been sharing with everyone, I was thinking about how authentic she was. There are many ways to describe Rosalynn Carter, I think, as First Lady and certainly as the wife of the governor here, but always authentic in an era in which we live that is inauthentic in terms of politicians and their spouses.
Well, anywhere in the world she went, she was the same person. And she was as concerned about the people in Africa and the Middle East and Latin America as she was her friends and colleagues in Pines. She was really and truly a world citizen and a wonderful representative of these United States, and a tremendous support to her husband. In fact, I don't know that he ever made a decision without, whether he asked her or not, he heard her opinion.
Ambassador, what do you think people should remember about Rosalynn Carter tonight as we're remembering her life?
Well, I think that for me, the high point that this nation needs to remember is that she and her husband were married and love one another without interruption for 77 years. And they were true friends. And they did, if the president was going to go build houses, Rosalynn went to build houses. When she got concerned about the state of children in the world, he gave her carte blanche to travel around the world, assess the problem, and come back and tell him what she thought he should be doing. She really was a soulmate.
Ambassador, is there any one moment or story that you think of her that sort of jumps immediately to your mind when her name is brought up?
No, it's the everyday things. She never was invited to come into the cabinet room, but whenever you had a cabinet meeting, she slipped in and sat down and started taking notes. And I'm sure she discussed her opinions and her notes with her husband when the cabinet meeting was over. But she was clearly an alter ego for him. And I don't think he made decisions without checking with her on, how they might impact a variety of people on the planet.
Ambassador Young, thank you for your time as always. We are honored to be with you tonight, and it's such a difficult time for everyone who has loved the Carters, and they have been such a part of your life over the decades, not only in this country, but certainly in our state and our city as well. Thanks again.
Well, thank you very much, and God bless you.
You too, Ambassador. Now tonight, as people look to pay tribute to the former First Lady, we're connecting you with ways that you can help honor her life. Just text the word Carter to the number on your screen. It's 404-885-7600. We will send you the latest information from the Carter Center, as well as reflections from around the country and the world. You can also visit our website, 11alive.com. We'll be right back.